I've been so polite and nice for so long that I think I don't feel like being polite and nice anymore. That she was just like really concerned for me because she had kind of alluded to I was a grooming victim and I didn't know. And I'm like, why do people freaking keep saying this about me? Even if I get frustrated about it, people are like, it doesn't mean that you're stupid. You can be a smart person and get in a situation like that. I'm like, yeah, and I freaking know what that's like because that was my family's situation. And I hate it when people say that to me.
I'm gonna be honest, I think she has every right to be this angry. Gryph everyone! Now that the Cyberspark drama is slowly dying down and we're understanding more and more about it every single day, it is becoming clear how all of this started and the players behind it. I first covered a incy bit of the Black Gryph0n drama back in late March, where my overall thoughts were, yeah, he's weird, but that's it. But slowly over time, especially now in the present, I realized, yeah, he's weird, but so were the people attacking him. Today for this reaction, we're going back to a previous video for an interview with the wife of Black Gryph0n, Corlett, the quote-unquote victim of him. And this video was interesting because calling her a groomed victim makes no sense, and she got pretty angry from all of this. So the reason why I want to cover this was from this guy, shout out to Legendary007, and he said, did the interview with Black Gryph0n's wife, Michelle, who was also a voice actress for My Little Pony, affect your opinion of the Black Gryph0n situation? And essentially, my whole take was that, yeah, it was fucking crazy. Because people on the Brony Fandont side, right, they want to litigate drama so bad that they will use anyone at all. They will call his own wife a groomer when she herself has, denounced that opinion and, completely removed from it. And also furthermore, they will take testimonies from Emily Jones to have a whole different drama for the friend of Black Gryph0n, Cyberspark. So they're fucking insane. And that reminded me real quick about the video. This one by Cope and Steve, and that whole segment with the interview with Claire, the wife of Gabriel Brown. And she, in her defense, she has every right to be angry because these people that, go against her, they are people that she knows personally. But even despite that, they will call her a victim of grooming. That is fucking insane. She's a grown-ass adult and she's married to the man. She's married to Gabriel Brown. But even despite that, they will say, oh, she was groomed to marrying him. That's fucking crazy. So I watched this segment, from 1 hour 14 to about 10 minutes. Okay, before it starts real quick, I have two things right. Turns out that the second user, along with Bonk, using Brony Fandont, is Sophie Scruggs. This woman is actually crazy, right? Because she went from being an artist, an official artist for My Little Pony, to then running co-running a hate account on Black Gryph0n, an actual person that worked on My Little Pony as a voice actor. That's fucking insane.
For the My Little Pony comics.
My name is Sophie Scruggs. That's SOPHIEASCRUGGS. If you want to look me up on Twitter, Sophie A. Scruggs.
I do know that she kind of...
So she went from being an artist, right, to then having co-running the Brony Fandont account. Holy shit, what a great culture fame. But even alongside it, right, so we have that person, but then we have a friend, we have a very weird connection, between Sophie Scruggs and fucking Claire, the wife, that being Amy New. So I'll let the video play out and then we'll get to the interview with her. Also, there's multiple interviews with Claire, but I'll stick to this one because it is the first one and the shortest. But even that short one, she gets livid against these people. Rightfully so, in my opinion.
Presented the perfect vector to litigate their own petty grievances. Let's talk about this elusive Amy New.
That's her.
When I first introduced her to you, I said she was just somebody's wife. And while that sounds flippant, it's actually a very good description. Because Amy's claim to fame is being married to Peter New, the voice of Big Macintosh. For those of you who have no idea who or what that is, I deeply envy you. But he's basically a main secondary character from MLP. So if you're wondering why Amy scuttled away so quickly, it's probably because being involved in leveling unsubstantiated rape allegations against somebody might not be the best look publicly. But Amy has known and been involved with this group of people for over a decade. And while I'm not quite clear on the mechanics of how this worked, she was certainly one of the people handing over Emily to KP for this expose.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't reach out to...
That's what. Okay, so not only she friends with Sophie Scruggs, an insane person, but also, I mean, he'll let the timeline play out. But like, she led Emily Jones to Brony Fandont to litigate all of this.
Me personally, but Angry Slug did, and I was quite interested in what she had to say, so I asked Slug for a couple.
Also, shout out to Slug as well. He's fucking crazy. He's like in a good way. I mean, not like insane. Like Sophie Scruggs, he's awesome.
Yeah, now there's nothing in here that's particularly interesting, but it does confirm her involvement, and the fact that she is very much trying to push the blame onto KP. And from the DMs with Fandont, it seems very clear that they were also very much in contact. You'll also see later that Amy and Sophie Scruggs seem to have a pretty good relationship, so the idea that she was just a passive bystander concerned for her friend is absurd. As a final late addition, right before publication, I was made aware of one other bit of correspondence with Amy. Because Mr. Enter would also reach out to Amy.
Also, shout out. I might make a video when he makes his own statement on this. I think he's doing some research to like debunk these people, you know, to expose them, and how they're all crazy. I might watch that as well. That seems interesting.
He'd give the statement that she found out about this on the 25th of March, which would mean, timeline-wise, Amy was told about this, immediately gave the information to Fandont, who immediately passed it on to KP.
Wow, what great friends. So she hears from Emily, her own friend, that, you know, this happened about 10 years ago, and Amy knew her first reaction is to go to Sophie Scruggs, to Brony Fandont, and make them, you know, expose all of this, to litigate this as a huge fucking drama online. What a great fucking friend.
Now this is all...
And then, no, but like, so I want to say, like, you know, maybe she's being a good friend, but, you know, like having this whole drama, having this shitty history being exposed. But at the same time, like, you have to remember, right? She heard about that, and, you know, she didn't wait a week to tell Brony Fandont. She told immediately. And also as well, second of all, Emily's initial feelings about that, you know, about the whole story, was that she was very divided. It was only after she talked to KP and Courtney, I believe, where she changed her testimony, her opening statement about it, to make it sound much worse, you know. If she was being a good friend and didn't start off this drama, you know, this would never start in the first place at all.
Support of the statement from Emily on Twitter, saying that they've been friends for over a decade, and that she was at Canterlot Gardens confirming that she had seen Emmy and Saberspark together. The statement of, I have nothing to gain from this, I just want my friend to be believed, is also complete insanity considering Amy's wider involvement in this. Once again, to say nothing of the validity of Emily's accusations, Amy presents herself like she's not involved and knew nothing about this before publication. Or, alternatively, this could also be
very not shady at all.
Be read as though it was a rumor that had been going around for years that was finally being outed. And I'm sure some version of the truth exists within all this obfuscation, but these people are just so fucking manipulative. One thing about the story,
I think by the end of this year, we might get the whole story out there.
Pretty amusing.
I say whole story as, like, you know, Emily's actual recollection of what happened. Because, you know, after this video came out and I watched all of it, I realized, wow, we cannot trust that testimony at all, because it was being fucking altered by KP and Courtney from the very beginning. Like, I'm sure the events actually did happen in that order, but like, I want to know like her actual real feelings behind it.
Overall, quite frustrating is that the side that's so concerned about transparency have all refused to speak to anyone the minute things got difficult for them. Now this presents a bit of a problem. I don't know people like Amy. All I've got to go on is fragments of information.
I'm not sure. I'll go back to what I said before, actually. I'm not sure if Amy knew friends with Claire at all. I'm not entirely sure about that.
To be clear,
I think I misheard about, you know, Amy being friends with Sophie, and I interpret that as, you know, Amy being friends with Claire,
just because
which I don't think is the case at all,
they won't
potentially.
speak to me doesn't mean nobody did. And thanks to the excellent work of Opblock, after his response video, I was put in touch with Saberspark. Now that conversation I had with Saberspark is unfortunately off the record. He doesn't feel comfortable at the moment coming out and making random public statements. And I'll be honest, I do respect that decision. However, I
get that, right? But like, this drama is very easy. It's not that bad. Like, everyone joined his side after response, you know, like most people believe him and are on his side. I don't see like what you have to lose, you know, by having some statements being made public in this video.
We need to know about these people, and from the other
side,
it
will only do him good, in my opinion.
I accept the criticism of it would be nice to hear from people. So please, allow me to solve that problem for you, because I sat down to have a conversation with the voice actress of Sweetie Belle from My Little Pony, the wife of Black Gryph0n, Claire. Let's go and add
Finally,
levels.
holy shit. So the person that people have been calling a grooming victim has finally come out in an actual interview. Or she was finally reached out. I'm sure if somebody like Courtney or Brony Fandont, offered an interview, she would have said yes, but they didn't at all.
Can we?
Bro, this drama against Black Gryph0n has been going on for like years, and only now, in the big year of 2025, we have one with Claire, with the quote-unquote victim.
Start with Amy New.
Yeah.
And again, to repeat this real quick, I do find Black Gryph0n, Gabriel Brown, a weird character, 100% right. But I would never bring his own wife into this, because why would I call someone a victim when they themselves don't like that label at all by any means?
Yeah.
Especially when they're a conscious adult and they're married to that person.
Can you tell me?
You're asking for them, to completely ruin the marriage and antagonize their own partner. They're not gonna do that at all.
About Amy New and why the wife of the voice actor for Big Macintosh is somehow involved in attacking your sort of, I guess, circle.
All right. I will tell you all the things that I know about her. I know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm hesitant to say things, but at the same time, I feel like I've been so polite and nice for so long that I think I don't feel like being polite and nice anymore. So there's my grain of salt before I say what I'm gonna say.
Also, that's what this is the first interview, in this video. But even now, she gets acidic with these people. She really, really hates them. And fair enough, right? If you don't go after Black Gryph0n, fair enough. But don't go through his own wife who doesn't want a part of this at all.
I don't know where the switch was with Amy. I don't know if my own father has talked to either of them, but I do know that my dad has reached out to people that I've worked with and warned them about me when I had told my parents that I was in a relationship with Gabe, and this is when I was almost 20. I don't know when the swap or switch was for Amy. I had met her a few times before.
Wait, so she swapped before? I'm guessing she was friends with her, or at least on her side before this drama.
I knew she was married to Peter New. I think I can't remember a whole lot about her, but I don't know. I don't know. She's kind of mixed up in the fan world, and she came first as a fan. To my knowledge, she was a fan first, and then she just kind of started dating Peter, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And
also, that's what, from my perspective, right, as someone who doesn't interact with the My Little Pony community, every fan in this sounds insane. All it sounds like they have their own story. You have Sophie Scruggs, who now co-owns one of the biggest hate accounts on Twitter, and then you have Amy New. I'm not sure what her last name was before, but she became a fan and then moved up to being a husband, to being a wife of one of the voice actors. My God.
Yeah.
I'm sure every fan of this community has their own, crazy, wacky story behind this.
Yeah, was kind of like a fan of My Little Pony and a fan of Peter, and then started dating. And I was like, oh, okay. And, I didn't really think much of it at the time. I didn't really care. As an adult looking back on that situation, I also know that I'm pretty sure that Amy has, publicly stated before at some point that she was just, really concerned for me because she had kind of alluded to, I was a grooming victim and I didn't know, and I was smart and I was, in love and I knew what that was like.
Oh, she gets really pissed about this part.
And I just feel really bad for her. And I'm like, why do people freaking keep saying this about me? I'm some idiot that, and this is the thing too.
She's so sweet, actually. Why do you call me freaking idiot?
Even if I get frustrated about it, people are like, oh, I understand that you're so angry. You're a very it doesn't mean that you're stupid. You can be a smart person and get in a situation like that. I'm like, yeah. And I freaking know what that's like because that was my family situation.
Yeah, that's what. If you really do care about, the victims in this, why would you antagonize them? I'm pretty sure Amy and Sophie have now go against Claire, even though, by their own logic, they believe Claire to be a victim. But again, once you cover this drama like I did, you realize very early that these people, like Brony Fandont, they don't care about justice. What they want is to have the big people like Gabriel Brown fucking torn down. And again, to repeat this, for the 5th time, I think you can criticize them. However, please criticize them for like the real big points. In my opinion, the biggest point, is his public tweets with Claire when she was younger. However, don't go after like, very, very dumb allegations like from Destiny, alright? That stuff has like no evidence at all and it can't go that far. But those people, they will take it. They will turn that inch into a mile to fucking burn Gabe.
And I hate
and ruin his own wife, the grooming victim, Claire.
when people say that to me, as if I don't know what that's like. And one day I'll figure.
Normally in grooming allegations, right, we don't care about the victim because the groomed victim is a kid. But with her, he's like an adult around, I'm not sure how, I think he's 25 now. And also, he's married to the perpetrator that you're calling. This is a very tough situation.
Figure it out.
It's tough, right? But you can avoid it by just, mainly focusing on him and not bringing up his wife. It'll be that simple.
One day I'll figure out that I've been groomed. And I'm sitting here like, nobody knows that I've basically already been through this. People talk about grooming in this non-sexual way, which is so funny because I'm like, why the frick would I be groomed non-sexually into a marriage? What's the marriage for? Shaking hands? Like, what?
Yeah, that's what these people like to get a win on this, right? They twist the definition. Oh, well, we can't prove that it was, if we can't prove at this point, then we can twist it to being non-sexual. Like, what?
What the hell? It just doesn't make any sense. But I hesitate to use the word groomed just because I hate it so much at this point. But I have had a lot of conditioning for other things in my life.
If any of you guys want to like move forward with that Gabriel Brown drama, that's fine. If I were you, I'd step back from calling it a grooming allegation or calling him a groomer, sorry, because it's not really entirely, it's not entirely proven just yet. It's very contested. As clearly with Claire, if you want to do what I did and just call them weird, that's perfectly fine because that's probably like the safest, at least least contested point about him.
18 and realized and gave myself some authority in my own life. Oh, I'm not going to do this just because this person says so. Just because this person is in my family and is telling me blah 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 doesn't mean that I have to do that anymore. And so, anyway, to make a long story short, there are. I think it's really funny that Amy...
Oh, I fucking love it. It's so ironic, if it's true, right?
...is somebody who is saying this kind of stuff. She wouldn't know. Started off very, I feel bad for her vibes. And then immediately went to, I'm blocking you, you're a danger, and I'm paraphrasing here, but that is the vibe that is being directed towards me now. And I think that's also really funny, considering Peter New is somebody who has said inappropriate things about girls who are underage. And
okay, I have no idea about this guy Peter New, but if that's true about him being questionable himself, that is so fucking ironic. How can you be a wife of this big figure who does some questionable things and then go after the wife of another controversial character? You look so hypocritical, Like you're asking for Claire to see herself as a victim and fucking divorce her own husband. Meanwhile, that same logic can be applied to you if it's true. I haven't seen what Peter New has said, but like if even one part of that is true, holy fuck, maybe right message, but like wrong messenger if it's coming from Amy New.
That is just laughable to me. And I feel like every single person who is the most like loudly outspoken people about this situation are people who've got their own weird freaking skeletons. And I just sit here and I'm like, surely people can't believe this. Surely people have a brain, but apparently not, because now we're in the situation that we're in now. And it boggles my mind and it just makes me roll my eyes, quite frankly.
Talking with Claire was pretty illuminating. I can almost understand
why we have about 1 more minute.
No one's been interested in hearing her side in all this. Because it must be pretty bloody difficult to run a story about somebody being a groomer when their primary victim, quote unquote, won't go along with your narrative.
Exactly. It's so fucking difficult. In most of the stuff, right, the victim would not defend the groomer at all. Because two things, right? Well, sorry, just one thing. They're a kid. They can't really have like a statement, unfortunately, because they're very young. They don't get the full severity of the situation. And also, second of all, of course, like, they wouldn't defend their own. They wouldn't defend their own groomer because they wanna get away from the drama.
But when you start...
But in this allegation, right, in this situation with Gabriel Brown, the victim is literally a grown adult, married with him.
Picking apart the eccentricities of these relationships, it becomes a hell of a lot harder to treat the people leveling these accusations as just passive observers concerned for victims. No wonder so many people want to remain anonymous. They're not just random people from the internet, they're people with large public profiles in the community. I was astonished to find that people had either outright ignored Claire's public statements on the situation, or actively attacked her as somehow complicit. This is also the case for Michelle.
I love that. So I'll stop here again. Like, if you want to see like more interviews with her, there's more around the end or after this. But like, this one by itself, you know, in this video was fucking insane. My God. So this video overall, like, it's a very like good structure. It starts with a KP and Silver Spark, but then, you know, it moves down to the actual big roots, you know, the Black Gryph0n stuff. It's so fucking true. Oh my God, the reason why like this saga with Silver Spark is because, you know, he defended Black Gryph0n, you know, with his marriage, which questionable, whatever, that's fine. But you know, from there, people like KP, you know, got like this small story and fucking blew it up, you know, to attack him because he's friends with Black Gryph0n. Holy fuck. And also, so, like, you can criticize Black Gryph0n, that's fine, but there is not a single universe where you look good or your argument makes sense when the grooming victim denounces that label. They don't want to be called a grooming victim at all. Holy fuck. So again, like, if I have a couple of videos on my channel, you know, talking about this, and it's very easy to tackle, right? Because now once, you know, that if I can bring up his own wife, because that'll be moronic, holy shit. I might cover more of this video later, because I think, you know, they delve on Bonk and Sophie Scruggs as well, which those people, my God, their fucking empire of hate, you know, against Black Gryph0n and Silver Spark, that by itself is interesting, holy shit. I might cover it, potentially, I don't know.